Welcome back to our Secure Act 2.0 video series. Today we're going to be looking at the new Roth contributions to Simple IRA plans. So previously, before the passing of the Secure Act 2.0, the only types of contributions that were allowed to Simple IRAs were pre-tax contributions. Now going forward, starting in 2023, employees will be allowed to make Roth employee deferrals to these plans. A quick recap of pre-tax versus Roth. Pre-tax contributions, you put them in, you get a tax deduction now, the balance accumulates, and then as you take pieces of that account in retirement, that's when you pay tax on all of that money. Versus the Roth, you're making after-tax contributions, paying tax on those contributions now, but all the accumulation can be withdrawn tax-free in the future as long as you're over the age of 59 and a half and have had that account in existence for more than 5 years. So what happens in January when an employee walks in and says, hey, I want to start making Roth deferrals to my Simple IRA account? Now, while the law allows them to do that now, it's probably going to take some time before those contributions can actually be remitted to the Simple IRA accounts, mainly because the custodians that provide these Simple IRAs to the employees may need more time to update their systems, update their client agreements to include the Roth language in accordance with the new law. Number two, if this ends up being an optional provision, meaning companies can decide whether or not they want to allow their employees to make Roth deferrals, companies are going to have to make that decision. Again, we don't know whether it's going to be mandatory that all employees are going to be allowed to do this, or it's going to be, hey, check the box if you want your plan to allow this. The third being, employers will need time to communicate to their payroll providers that, hey, we're now allowing Roth in our Simple IRAs. You have to allow those deductions in our payroll system. And the final, for employees that want to potentially make Roth, they may need time to consult with their financial advisor, accountant, or plan representative to determine whether they should be making pre-tax or Roth deferrals to the plan. Because this law is still so new, they kind of put it out there and then wait for the questions to develop, and then they come back with clarification as to what they intended the law to be. One of the big questions we have out there that I just mentioned is, are these Roth deferrals going to be mandatory, that they have to be allowed? Or does the plan say, hey, do you want to allow these for your employees or not allow them, similar to 401ks? That's how 401ks work. They can choose whether or not they want to allow their employees to make Roth deferrals. So we still need clarification on that. I'm guessing at some point in 2023, the IRS is going to have to issue an updated Form 5304 Simple form. This is a form that if a company sponsors a Simple IRA, they're supposed to distribute this 5304 form to their employees each year, which provides them with details on the plan, which will now probably incorporate this Roth language. It includes things like the eligibility requirements to enter the plan, what the employer contribution is going to be for that plan year, vestings, withdrawals, rollovers. That gives them all of that information. We have another question that's still unclear, which is once these Roth deferrals can start to be made by employees, will those employees have to set up a separate Simple IRA account just for their Roth dollars and keep that separate from the Simple IRA that houses their pre-tax dollars? In the 401k world, everything goes into one account. You can see your pre-tax dollars and your Roth dollars, but 401ks have record keepers that track the sources and track contributions and track earnings. Simple IRAs traditionally have not had to have record keepers because it's all pre-tax dollars. Two of the potential solutions we could see emerging is, one, they're going to go with a separate account solution where employees will essentially have two separate Simples running, one with Roth, one with pre-tax. The second may be if you allow Roth in your Simple IRA, and for some reason it's mandatory, employees are doing it, you may have to add some sort of record-keeping services so they can track the different sources and earnings, and when employees eventually take distributions, be able to segregate those things out. While we're talking about these Simple IRAs, let's talk about the new contribution limits for 2023. So for 2023, the maximum contribution you can make to a Simple IRA account for employee deferrals is the lesser of 100% of your comp, or if you're under the age of 50, $15,500. If you're age 50 or older, you get the catch-up contribution, so you can put in a total of $19,000. Since Roth is new to the Simple IRA world, those max dollar amounts are aggregate between pre-tax and Roth, which means you can't do $15,500 pre-tax into your Simple IRA and deferrals and then do another $15,500 in Roth deferrals. That max dollar amount includes all of it. So whether you do it all pre-tax, all Roth, or some combination of the two, that's how those aggregate limits are assessed. Up until now, we've been talking about Roth dollars. We've been talking about the employee deferrals, what the employers are voluntarily electing to put in the plan. But the Secure Act 2.0 also introduced a brand new feature, which is allowing employees to accept the employer contribution into the Roth source, which this is new for not just Simple IRAs, but all plans. The bummer of this situation for Simple IRA plans is, as we read it right now, it seems like the ability to accept employer contribution to the form of Roth is just reserved for qualified plans, which is 401ks, 403bs, 457bs. It seems like the employer contributions for Simple will still have to remain all pre-tax. I see this as an excellent step forward for Simple IRA plans. When we're presenting to small employers all the different types of retirement plans they can sponsor, when we got down to Simple IRA versus 401k, one of the big differences in the past was the 401k allowed Roth deferrals and the Simple did not. And when you have younger employees and lower tax brackets that have a long time horizon in retirement, those Roth contributions can be a true benefit to them. So now the Simple IRA could really fill that niche where before companies had to jump to a 401k to get access. The Secure Act 2.0 also created additional changes to Simple IRA plans in years 2024 going forward, outside of just this Roth deferral piece, which is going into place for 2023. But given the magnitude of all these changes, we're going to be releasing this content in pieces. So feel free to subscribe so we can keep you up to date on the changes as we release them. As always, if you have any questions on these Simple IRA plans or the new Secure Act 2.0, please feel free to reach out to me at moneysmartboard.com. Thank you.